What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Real Amigos. I am your host, Chris, joined with Donnie over
I'm Donnie.
here. You're Donnie. I'm Chris. Wait, I am Chris, right?
You're Chris.
Okay, good.
No
All right.
T, everyone.
We should,
Just Chris.
yeah, not Chris. That's not my name. We should wear name tags. I think that would probably help. At least us remember who we are. That's probably good.
Yes.
This is a podcast about movies. This is Real Amigos, guys. If you are new here, we get together every week and we talk about movies, and we do a lot of variety of things. We talk about core movies that we like. We're doing time travel movies this year. We talk
Yeah, we
about
are.
we get debate topics where we argue about what is the best. And sometimes we swap really cool movies like the Flintstones and the Power Rangers, and so a lot of fun stuff. But then we also
Thanks for bringing last week up.
we also do.
I was hoping to keep last week out of my brain, but it's back.
We also have a fun thing that we like to do that we started here recently called Yearbook, where we take a deep dive into a year in movies, and that's what we're going to do tonight. And tonight we're looking at 2014. But before we get there, let's just kind of let's warm the waters a little bit, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been a while. It's been a week since we've been here with you. You know, you hadn't heard our dulcet tones for a while. We want to ease you into it. All right. So, Donnie, lay something on me, man. What's going on? What's happening in your world? You done anything cool?
My world is back to school world right now for my son.
Oh,
so that's exciting. Not really.
I saw that he had a hot pink soccer costume on.
Brother, that is the hottest, pinkest jersey I've ever seen. I don't know what in the world, whatever.
It is like highlighter pink.
It's worse than that, even. It's so crazy.
It's rough.
I don't know, man. It's weird to me. I guess I'm old-fashioned, but it's like, couldn't you come up with like a kind of a neutrally color for a team of boys and girls? I don't know.
What is their mascot?
Maybe an orange or a yellow, or I don't know.
What's their mascot?
The Sharks. So there's no connection.
Oh, the pink Sharks. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's a color. All right. Well, that's great.
I was a little taken aback when I saw that jersey. Because my son was out of town, I picked it up for him, and I was like, "Holy Toledo!" It's like this is something.
That's funny.
But he coped with it. I mean, when your whole team's wearing it, I guess you just whatever. You don't care.
Yeah.
You're not the only goofy looking one.
That's true. We homeschool, so we don't really have to deal with the whole back to school thing quite like that. But we're kind of gearing up as well, and that's always a hectic and crazy time. So that's always fun.
Yes, sounds fun.
It's not.
It really doesn't sound fun.
It's not fun at all. No, that was a lie. I did watch a movie, surprisingly.
All right.
Surprisingly. It's funny because if you guys follow the show at all, I don't watch as many movies as you would think hosting a movie podcast. Most of the movies I tend to watch because of this podcast. And then I tend to, on my free time, I tend to watch TV. I like watching TV shows. But I did get, and this was not by choice, but I got Secret Life of Pets 2. And so the kids were like, "Oh, let's watch Secret Life of Pets too." I was going to watch Godzilla with them, the new Godzilla movie, this week, but I do have some younger kids, and they get scared very easily. And although I know Godzilla, I don't think is like in it a whole lot. I still kind of thought it may be a little too intense for them. So we ended up watching the Secret Life of Pets #2, which is not great. But I will say this. About midway through the movie, I don't know any of these characters, and I don't care to. Watching a movie like this really makes you appreciate Pixar, who actually writes movies that mean something and that have something to say. This movie is not. This movie is just complete garbage. But the midway point, they go to a farmhouse, and I say they because again I don't know their names, but the main dog and the main dog's friend.
They're the pets.
The pets. The main dog, I think his name's like Max or Spike or Spot or something like that.
Oh, original.
And then they have the big hairy Chewbacca dog. I don't know what his name is either. I don't care. They go to a farm for a vacation, and they meet this other dog that I do know his name. Because he comes over and
Doug.
No. Follow. He the little spot dog Spike. I think it's Spike or Spot or
You're heavily invested in this movie. I
yeah.
can tell.
So he goes and drinks out of the water
Bowl.
dog water bowl.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden this big dog comes over and he's like, "Hey, you're drinking out of my water bowl." And he's like, "I didn't know it was your water bowl." He's like, "It's got my name written on it." And so he turns it around. It's got a picture of a chicken. It's not a picture of a chicken, but he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Chicken." He's like, "It's Rooster." But at this moment, you realize that the voice coming out of Rooster is Harrison Ford. And this is like the grumpiest Harrison Ford. Like, this is just real life Harrison Ford coming out of
Harrison Ford?
Yes.
Did an animated voice?
He plays this dog. And I'm telling you, he was great. He was just a grumpy old man Harrison Ford, and he's kind of my favorite Harrison Ford. So
that almost makes me want to watch that, but I'm not going to watch
but you definitely shouldn't.
No,
but,
I'm not.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't. I'll send you the timestamp, and you can just fast forward to the scene where, like, the one scene that he's in is really good.
Don't waste your time. I'm not going to do that.
Anyway, the movie's not good, but it was cool to hear Harrison Ford. It is definitely grumpy old man Harrison Ford, which I appreciate, and it was really good. The other thing I was going to say real quick is I finished season 3 of Stranger Things. Like I said, I like to watch TV, not movies.
Yes, I did as well.
So, real quick, let's just talk about this. What is your take? There's been obviously 3 seasons. We just said that. Give me a best, better, worst. Like, which one is your favorite season? Did you like season 3?
I did. I like season 3 more than season 2.
Okay, I would agree.
I thought season 2 was definitely the weak link in the chain.
Agreed.
I'm not sure I felt about the end of season 3 though.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, it's really bittersweet, and it's like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
I guess they're just playing the real life type stuff because that's kind of how real life goes, but that's why you watch movies, man. You're like, I don't want to watch the real life friendships end.
Yeah,
let's not do that.
Exactly when we know they're going to come back for at least one more season, it was a very weird way to end on. We're not really a TV podcast. I don't want to spoil this for anybody. It's still, I guess, relatively new. Most people binge watch this kind of stuff. I will say that's really the best way to watch it. I think we watched it. My 12-year-old daughter's really into Stranger Things, so I watched it with her. I think we watched it in like 3 days. So over the course of 3 days, and that really is the way to watch it. I will say this: it is not very good by itself. In the fact of right, we just watched Band of Brothers together, right? Band of Brothers is great because although it is telling an overall story, every episode is very distinct, has a beginning, middle, and end, and tells a very specific story, right? That is not how Stranger Things is. Stranger Things literally just feels like it's setting up exactly what's coming next, and you don't really ever feel like it's ever complete to the end. And that's not
everything's a cliffhanger.
So it's not that it's a good or a bad thing. It's just if you're planning on watching, like once a week or once every couple of weeks, it's really kind of hard to enjoy it as much that way.
I do have a comment about it, and I guess it is spoilery, so.
Okay, so we're going to spoil a little bit. So don't listen. Yeah, give us about 2 minutes, and then you can come back.
So are all these townspeople getting killed? Like, I'm assuming they are, right? I mean, there's that scene where they're like falling on the floor and getting sucked into the goo. Remember, they're kind of disintegrating on the floor?
Yeah, I mean,
like they're just walking down the stairs and falling over.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to be dead, right? I mean, we're just wiping out the whole town?
I mean, yeah,
you can't come back from that, can you?
It's weird because I would almost instantly say yes. However, at the end, Billy turns and defies the goop monster, right?
Yeah.
To save 11. So was Billy never transformed into a goop person? Or
I don't know, man. It's the issue I have with the Matrix. I get the overall story, but I don't understand the inner workings.
Yeah, so
it's like Lost. Remember Lost? When you watch Lost, you're like, oh man, all these concepts are amazing. But then you're like, you sit back and go, none of this makes sense at all.
No. And
a smoke monster. That's amazing. But it means nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, they shot the bed on that. So one of my biggest thing is that I don't think that we understand. I don't think the show has done a service at all to help us understand what the crap the underground is.
No.
Was it created? Is it part of our universe? Is it another dimension?
It's called underground or underworld or
no, it's called the upside down. No, it's called the upside down.
Upside down. That's it. Yeah.
But right, every time we've been there, right, it literally is that, right? It's the upside down of our world. So is it a different dimension? Is it a nightmare realm? Like we just don't know what it is. And they have for 3 seasons not done anything to tell us. And that to me is the biggest problem with the show, is that by the 3rd season, you should at least, whether it makes sense or not, you should at least have an understanding of what you're dealing with. Hey, this is
they're not in a big town. This is not like a big city.
Yeah.
That I can tell, right? It seems kind of
Hawkins is pretty
small towny.
Yeah, small town, yeah.
So it's like if all them people died, and there was a bunch of them, there was like dozens upon dozens, maybe hundreds.
Yeah.
It's like there's going to be a lot of houses for sale in that town,
Yeah. So
I'd like to know
move?
What's going on. Yeah, it's like just take that guy's house. They're gone. They're goop monster.
All right, we're not here to talk about Stranger Things. I will say Steve is the best. The only reason that I watch that show anymore is because of Steve. Steve is the best.
Dude, I love what they did with him.
Steve and Dustin are great together. Dustin's okay.
Yeah.
Steve is brilliant.
I love what they did to him.
I was hoping they would kill Mike and 11 and Will. I don't like any of them. So I was really hoping. I was really hoping 11 would die. Okay, that's it. Enough Stranger Things stuff. We are moving on. Let's actually get to the topic at hand. So we're here to do yearbook again, and this is just where we kind of unpack a year in movie history. We have done crazy years. We've done 1984. Right?
Amazing.
Then we decided, okay, well, let's just jump to the 90s, and we did the year of Ace Ventura, and we did 1994. And so then I thought, well, let's do something a little more recent. And since we like 4 so much, we kept that in, and we decided to do 2014. So we are very recent, just a few years ago. So hopefully, you will have some recollection of what has went on. But we're going to kind of jump in. As we always do, we try to give you just some life stats before we jump in here to the movie talk. So let me give you some things just so that you know. So the average income in 2014 was $53,657. Gallon of gas was $2.75. Dude, which I filled up my car. We go to Kroger, so we get 3 cents off, but after you spend enough money, you get points, and so I ended up having like 10 cents off. But dude, it was only $2.04. So I got 10 cents off. So I'm at $1.94, bro.
Paid under $2 for a gallon of gas. It's pretty amazing.
It's cheaper than 2014, right? Movie ticket was 1047. President was Barack Obama. Super Bowl champs, Seattle Seahawks. San Francisco Giants were World Series champs. That was the year of the beards. Y'all had Fear the Beards, right? Right?
Probably.
That was the year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the year.
Yeah, their relief pitcher. Yeah, big old butt beard.
The Spurs won the NBA championship. 2014 was the disappearance of Malaysian Air Flight 370. Which is still a bonkers story. As I was making,
did they ever find that thing?
No. So as I was making the notes, I was like reading back through the history because you just kind of drop after a while. So they ended up spending almost a year looking for the remains, and they found absolutely nothing. They stopped. They had a private investigation start for a short time, still found nothing, and now they've just basically called it off. They did find some wreckage that had came ashore, and so they tie it to that flight and assume that it is the same flight. And so the general story right now, or the accepted story right now, is that the plane just went down in the water and it's never going to be found again. But what a bonkers story, man! An entire airplane with a black box just completely disappeared. That is crazy.
Somebody shot it down.
That's the movie I want to see. All right, how about this? This is great. In 2014, Google became more valuable than the entire Russian stock market.
Not surprising.
But I mean, come on, still, an entire country's...
I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know Russia had a stock market.
Okay, get
So
out of here. But yeah, but the
there's
stock
that.
market is just like public enterprise, right? I mean, it's just
I
it's
didn't know Russia had public enterprise.
okay. Let's
So
get out of here. All right. The number one TV show in 2014 was Big Bang Theory, which I actually found surprising. I like the Big Bang Theory. Okay, I never really. Here's a problem. CBS doesn't stream it anywhere, and I don't watch shows live, so they've never put Big Bang Theory on Hulu. And so what I've seen was really just from from either I caught it on reruns or something like that. So I've
yeah,
never been able to
syndication.
follow it regularly. If they dropped it like today on Hulu or or whatever, Amazon, I would probably watch it because what I've seen of it, I do enjoy. I think it's pretty funny. But anyway, so that was number one. 2014 was the year that made popular the Ice Bucket Challenge. I did actually research this. The very first like I guess instance of this actually started late 2012, and then 2013 they did the cold water challenge. And so it was just done a little bit in 2013, but it was 2014 where it really kind of took off and become the Ice Bucket Challenge. Did you do this, Donnie?
No. I still don't even know what it was for.
So it's for
I remember everyone doing it.
It was for ALS, and so basically what
yeah.
you were doing is that you were to show your support. So the idea was you'd either have to dump ice on yourself or donate $100. And so then you would call out somebody, to do it. And so it started with like celebrities, obviously on social media is how it kind of really got picked up. But basically, let's say that I did it.
So you're telling me that the celebrities would rather dump ice on their head than give $100?
To be fair, I think most of them did both. But, okay. But that
seems like a sham.
Yeah. I believe that's how it goes. I think that's what it went. I don't care. Anyway, but so if I did it, I would say, okay, I did this. Now I'm going to challenge Donnie. So Donnie, you can either pay $100 or dump ice on your head.
Guess what Donnie would have said?
$100.
I'm not doing either one of those things.
Hundo bones. All right, and then I found this story. I want to talk about this story real quick before we get into movies because this is the movie that I want to see. Do you know the story of Bernard Shaw?
No.
Okay, this dude, Donnie, this story is so great, okay? This dude is 89 years old. He's a World War II vet, lives in England, okay?
Okay.
He disappears from his nursing home, and he is found...
This sounds funny already.
Dude, it's great. He is found at Normandy because in 2014 was the 70th anniversary of the landing of the Normandy landing. And so this dude... He plans an escape from his nursing home. He takes a taxi wherever he's from, and he ends up in freaking Normandy. This 89-year-old guy. Sweet. And if you read the story, he actually wore his military jacket with all the pins on it, and he had to cover with a gray jacket on top of it so nobody could see it. So,
oh, wow.
And so he was going out to take a walk, and he just never came back.
Oh, wow, man. I don't remember that at all.
Such a great
That's
story.
fantastic.
It's such a great story. His name is Bernard Shaw. You can Google it if you want to read the actual details of the story. But basically, this dude, 89-year-old war vet, escapes captivity from his nursing home to go and celebrate the 70th anniversary of the war that he fought in. I think it is a great story. That is a movie I want to see. I want Tom Hanks to play Bernard Shaw. Okay.
Oh gosh.
That is it. That's just some fun facts for you. All right, Donnie, why don't you give me the box office and let's talk about some movies.
2014 box office, worldwide box office, not just domestic.
Oh.
At number 1, do you want to go number 1 or number 10? I'll go backwards. Number 10, right. Interstellar. Which, okay.
Oh, see? Okay, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to talk about these. Number 9 is The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Dos.
Number 8 is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, not any other of the Planet of the Apes.
So
Dawn.
So good.
Of. Number 7, which should have been higher on this list, unfortunately, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
It really should be. It's the best MCU movie, so it should have been.
It is that. X-Men, number 6, Days of Future Past.
Garbage.
Which is pretty good.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
Number 5, The Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 1.
Haven't seen any of them. I saw the first one.
I'll talk about those too. Number 4 is Maleficent, which I have not seen.
Yeah, I saw that. It's not good.
Doesn't look good. That's why I didn't see it. Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, so great.
Tremendous kind of off the beaten path MCU movie. At number 2, you have The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, wrapping up that trilogy.
Yeah, man.
And then at number 1, coming in with over $1 billion worldwide,
$1.1 billion,
is Transformers: Age of Extinction.
It should just be called Transformers: because that's what it was. So let me. So I'll say this before we kind of jump in and start talking. I at the very end of this, if you're new to Yearbook, at the very end of this show, we're going to give you our top 3 movies of 2014, just based on personal picks. But I will tell you, this has been incredibly hard. And my list, even as we're talking right now, has 6 movies on it. I don't know what
I have
5.
I'm
going to pick. I don't know what.
I'm going to try to narrow it down to 3 by the end.
We're gonna get there. Let me give you the awards real quick. So on the Golden Globe front, remember Golden Globe has musical and comedy and drama. So for drama, best film was Boyhood, and then for musical or comedy, it was Grand Budapest Hotel. Best director was Richard Linklater for Boyhood. Best actor drama went to Eddie Redmayne for The Theory of Everything, and Michael Keaton for Birdman. That's considered a musical or comedy. And then best actress went to Julianne Moore for Still Alice. And drama category and musical comedy went to Amy Adams for Big Eyes, which was a freaky movie because I can't do those big eyes. I can't do the big eyes things. And then we'll just jump over and give you the Oscars for fun. So best film on the Oscars went to Birdman. Best director went to Alejandro. I can't ever say Inarritu. I can't say his name. But Inarritu, I think it's how you pronounce it, or close to it. But anyway, the guy who did Birdman.
That guy.
And then you had Eddie Redmayne win Best Actor for Theory of Everything, and then Julianne Moore for Still Alice won Best Actress. Did you see Still Alice?
Negative.
Oh, so good too. Okay, all right. So there's your box office and there's your award. So let's talk about some movies. Where do you want to start? Where are we going with, Donnie?
Well, where I want to start is I was looking at the top 100 movies from that year.
Okay.
And I realized that I have only seen, still to this day, 33 of them.
What?
Oh only a third of these movies. And several of the ones that you and I have talked about that are not in the top 100 that I have not seen either.
I'm so excited.
So I've seen a very limited number of movies from this year.
2014 is a weird year for you.
It is, because there's some fantastic movies.
Great movies.
Like some favorites from that year.
Great movies.
But there's also some garbage. So and a ton. Here's the thing. I'm realizing as I look at the list, it's like, well, I haven't seen this and this and this. And it's like, because I don't want to see them.
What? No.
Like, so many of them are just like, I don't want to see this movie.
Okay.
Like, for example, Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Oh, yeah, that's
garbage. I don't care about that movie.
Garbage. No, that's garbage.
I'm not going to watch that.
That's garbage.
What?
What about Beauty and the Beast?
Divergent.
Okay,
I don't care. I don't care about that.
Yeah,
0%.
Oh, you know what?
Ride along? No, I don't. I don't want to watch that.
Okay. I'm going to stop you. You brought up Divergent. So you said you wanted to get the Hunger Games. So let's start there. So I watched the first Hunger Games.
As did I.
Just because of the hype and because
that's exactly.
Jennifer Lawrence is super hot. So I was like, let's watch it. And but I guess I never caught the bug. Like I never had an interest to go back and watch any of the other ones.
Nope.
So have you seen any of the other ones?
I saw the first one.
That's it. That's me too.
Did I watch the second one? Seems like I might have watched the second one, but I don't even remember it. Like, it just wasn't. It's basically like teenagers killing each other. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, why are we even putting that out there?
Dude, it was just such a huge thing when it came out.
Yeah, and all those movies made $1 billion, which is even more disturbing.
And I just remember watching the first one, and I just didn't get it. It just did not click with me at all.
No.
Well,
it was no Harry Potter, that's for sure.
Good. No.
Harry Potter, you could watch at least go, I get it. I get why all these fans love it, and it's it's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but the Hunger Games is like, what?
Yeah.
Like a bunch of teenagers representing their province or whatever.
To be fair, like I like the politics of it. I mean, I get that but it's just, It's kind of
I
like when
don't.
Episode 2, came out and George Lucas was like, "Oh, I really like politics," and that was literally what the whole movie was about. And I was like, "Oh, come
Yeah.
on, George."
That
Um, so, so yeah, that's kind of how it felt.
oh
Okay,
boy.
let's jump over to Noah real quick. Darren
Noah.
Aronofsky's Noah.
Never seen it.
You didn't watch it? Oh, come on, Donnie. You got
No.
to at least watch
I have
it.
no desire to watch a Hollywood movie of a biblical story.
I mean, he's Jewish.
That's probably the only thing they got right in the whole movie.
No. I mean, Darren Aronofsky is Jewish.
Oh, I thought you
Ray's
meant Noah was Jewish.
No, Noah is Jewish.
And he's not even that, I guess. Never mind. Abraham is the first Hebrew, and he comes later. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I wanted to get your take on it and just kind of see.
No, I didn't watch it on purpose because I heard about it and I read some stuff and I was like, no, I don't want to watch that. It just sounds dumb. I didn't watch Exodus, Gods and Kings that year either. That stuff doesn't appeal to me. That Ben-Hur kind of stuff.
Oh, that was Christian Bale. Christian Bale did that, didn't he? Yeah, I actually never watched that either.
I'm not a big blood and sandals movie kind of guy.
I feel like Noah was the reason that Noah interested me is because it is such an iconic biblical story that he had such an interesting take on that I wanted to see it. It's Donnie. It is banana pants crazy.
That's why I don't want to watch it, man.
Like,
it's Heaven is for Real came out that year too. And it's like, nope. I'm not gonna watch that.
Is that the kid that died and goes to heaven?
Oh, yeah. He comes back and tells everyone how real it is. Like, no, that doesn't jive with my theology at all.
Okay.
And so whatever. Some of these I'm just not gonna like. Annie. No. Not watching the remade Annie.
Annie was great with Jamie Foxx. Oh, it was good, man. It was good. Rose Byrne in that. That was a good movie. It was fun. It was fun. Okay, so let's talk superheroes real quick. Okay,
let's do that.
We had what our we ranked on our show. If you want to know how we feel about the MCU pre-in-game, you can go to YouTube or our podcast feed, and you can find our Ranking the MCU episode where we spent about an hour and a half fighting over what we thought was the entire ranking of the MCU movies. What I can say is that both Guardians and Cap finished in the top 3. They're both the same year. These two movies to me are great. Now, you also mentioned X-Men Days of Future Past, which was a good movie.
Good.
But like in retrospect, when it came out right alongside Winter Soldier and Guardians, it does not hold a candle to either one of those movies. Like you're right. Not even a comparison. It
was good, but it was not MCU good.
Here's the thing I'll say about Days of Future Past. I think Days of Future Past is more fondly remembered because they brought the old characters back. You got to see Patrick Stewart as Xavier, and you got to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I think Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in that movie is what made. Let me go a step further. I would argue I don't think Fox has ever made a good X-Men movie. I think they have made a good. I think they've made decent X-Men movies with a great Wolverine, and they eventually made a very good Wolverine movie, and then made the greatest Wolverine movie of all time in Logan. And the X-Men movies are they're just so much less whenever Hugh Jackman's not in them. So I think Days of Future Past is good, but I think it's good because of Hugh Jackman. I think he is fantastic.
Oh, I love Hugh Jackman in that. Yeah,
so good.
I was born for that.
But let's talk Guardians and Winter Soldier real quick. So
okay.
And I'm sure we've had a type of conversation around this before since we've talked
no
about
doubt because you're on the show
Marvel so much. Give me your take again on Guardians because you had no idea about
Guardians of the Galaxy. Right? Yeah, man, I had no clue what I was getting into when I went to see that. I went and saw that strictly because it was MCU. That was it.
Okay, good. Okay.
Which I like. Which I know you're hoping will carry over into the next phase, but I don't think it will.
You've got to watch Shang-Chi.
I told you I would watch Shang-Chi. That's the only one I'm excited about.
That's fine. Shang-Chi. I think
Guardians of the Galaxy was a total like you going into movie swap kind of thing. It was like,
Yeah.
I have
No
literally
idea. I know.
no idea what this raccoon is in this tree. I don't know these people at all. 0%. But it blew me away. I loved it. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies still. So, but
It's good. God, so good.
it just had that, that quirky, weird, I don't know, kind of anti-hero mentality, but it was really good.
It's good, dude. It's good. There's no argument for me. I think both of those movies are still the best two, even with Endgame. I think those are still the two best movies in the MCU. Winter Soldier and
Yeah.
Guardians.
Captain America: Winter Soldier is the best MCU movie.
It's just so good. I don't
For
want to talk.
sure.
It's just gosh, it's just so good, man.
It is. There's so many great scenes in that.
There is.
I'm writing one down right now.
It's one of those movies that is. How would you say it? Like it is. I could watch that movie forever.
Yeah.
Like if it was on right now, like on the TV in passing, I would sit down and watch whatever was left of it. Like it's just one of those movies when I see it, I just want to watch it. No, it doesn't matter if it's in the middle, if it's at the end, it doesn't matter. It's so good. Robert Redford is so good in it. Kind of the espionage, or not so much espionage, but just kind of like like
the power play, the politics.
It's just so good. And then you have Winter Soldier and knowing that he's Bucky. Now, let me ask you this.
That name Bucky drives me crazy, just for the record.
I like he calls him Buck. I like Buck better, but did you know?
Uh-oh.
Did you know that Bucky was Winter Soldier? Like before you watched the movie?
No.
Did it? You didn't?
I didn't.
Okay. Okay. So how
again? I don't read the comments.
No, I know, and that's why I asked you. That's why I asked. Like I knew
Nope.
because it was a comic series like 5 or 10 years before whenever that run came out. Did you? So you didn't know? How did you feel? Like were you surprised when it was Buck?
No, I don't think I was surprised.
Okay.
But it's a tremendous movie. It's a great movie. It's not just a great MCU movie. It's a great movie. God, so well made, all the way around.
Good. I love it. Okay. So let's move on. Oh, let's talk about Planet of the Apes.
Those are great. I enjoyed that whole trilogy.
Yeah, I want to watch it with I almost started it with my daughter last week. We were looking at movies that I had, and I looked at it, and the first movie, the other two, surprisingly, are actually shorter. The first movie is like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. It's something.
Is it really?
Maybe not that long. I'd have to look, but it's like
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, Rise is super long, and the rest of them are like a little over 2 hours long. But the first one's like 2 hours and 20 or 2 hours. Like it's a freaking long movie, and I was like, okay, we can't start this tonight. I do want to watch it. I do want to watch it with her though. I think those movies are excellent, and I actually think Dawn is my favorite of the three. What's the last one? War for, right? War for is the last one.
War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, so War for is very much an Exodus story. It's a very much a Charlton Heston Ten Commandments story. Whereas I felt Dawn was a little more original. Kind of in I say it's original, right? It's a remake of a movie, but I felt like it was the most kind of distinct story that was focused on the apes that I really enjoyed. But man, it's good, man. It looks good. Andy Serkis as Caesar is just so great.
Yeah. Those movies, I really enjoyed those. I think I saw all those in the theater.
Yeah,
which is rare for me.
Yeah, I definitely did. Yeah, they're great. Did you see Boyhood?
Nope.
You
know why?
Why?
Did you?
Yes.
It's long. It's 3 hours long.
I know it is.
That's why I didn't watch it.
Because the length?
Yeah, it's one of those movies that doesn't look all that interesting to me. And then with it being 3 hours long, I'm just like, I'm not pushing the button on that.
But you know like what the conceit is, right? Like why it's special?
Yeah, it's a kid growing up in real life, and they're filming it for like 10 years.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I'll give them the gimmick, no doubt. That's pretty amazing. But
okay,
it's just not enough to draw me in, man. I don't know what to tell you.
okay, so here's my problem, and I wrote this down. I was hoping that you had actually seen it because I wanted to talk about it. Here's my problem with this. I don't know if this ever happens to you. I remember watching the movie. I remember watching it with Christy. I remember Christy even liking it, which Christy, my wife, she does not normally like movies, especially movies that I like. Sitting here right now, I cannot tell you what that movie was about. Does that? And I just don't understand. It's like in the back of my head, I'm like, man, I really love that movie, but I honestly don't remember anything from it. I remember Patricia Arquette's in it. I remember the kid grows up. I remember Ethan Hawke's in it. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
And I was
like,
just
it looks like
surprised.
I'm going to feel that way when I get done watching it, and
like,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I get it. I
don't want to invest that kind of time in it.
We may need to watch it.
I'd rather watch Das Boot.
We may need to watch it together and see if there's a different reaction. I'll put that on the list. We'll come back to that. Okay, I said Interstellar. You scoffed at Interstellar. Let's talk about Interstellar for a little while.
Oh, Interstellar.
What's your beef with Interstellar?
Okay, so I watched Interstellar. I didn't see it in the theater, but I picked up the Blu-ray and watched it. And I don't get it, man.
It's long too.
Yeah, it's long, and I don't get it. Now my son, who's an engineer, he's all into it. Like, oh, this is, man, all the stuff they're talking about in this movie is incredible, and it makes sense, and I'm just like, I'm not on that plane, man. You know that. Everybody knows I'm the simple movie watcher guy.
Yeah. I get that.
But I just, that movie, I don't know that I would watch it again.
Yeah, I can't.
I didn't understand the ending of it at all. Like, I don't get the whole time travel, hey, I'm in the bookshelf thing. I don't get it. I didn't understand it. You know, I consider myself a fairly intelligent human being, but I didn't get it.
It's one of those things where you have like this kernel of an idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, how can I visualize that? And then you start to visualize it, and then you think, oh no, this doesn't make any sense. But you're already kind of too deep into it, so you just like lean in. That's how I feel like that movie is. It's like
it feels
like a
weird,
kernel
man.
of like, okay, I kind of get it. You've been directing it from the whole time, and you're seeing, at this point, you're seeing all of time at the same time. So it isn't like he time traveled per se, but when he's in the library, it's that he sees all of time. So he's actually interacting with his child while his old self is still there, but he's doing it from the future because time is irrelevant at that place. I get the kernel of it, but it just does not work. I don't think it's a mess.
You had me at hello. You lost me at Interstellar. I didn't get it, man. I mean, it had some good stuff in it. I mean, I like McConaughey. He's great. I mean, he's always good for, he's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the robot in it, I can't remember his name. He was interesting.
Good. Yeah. He was just
like the Matt Damon stuff surprised me. I didn't even know he was in it.
That's right. Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, okay. Yeah. He's not a good guy.
For me, the scene that I always go back to that I love in that movie, and to be honest, I wish the entire movie was about, is the scene where they go down to the planet, to the water planet.
The water.
And because of the way that time passes, and again, it's been forever since I've seen this, so forgive me for getting the years wrong, but it's been like 20 years in the air, in the ship.
Yeah.
Right? And so the black guy's left up there. And so they're down, and because whatever happens, the tide comes and they miss their window, they have to wait like another minute. But that other, or whatever, for another 5 minutes or whatever the time is, but that translates to like 20 years in space. And right. So when they finally get back to the ship, it's been 20 years.
Yeah.
That
guy's been waiting,
and that guy's been waiting there, right? I want to see like that movie. I want to see that movie of the guy being like, "It's been 20 years. Where are my friends?"
I don't want to see that movie. That guy's just going to be running around looking at his watch for 20 years.
No, that's crazy.
Like, what's going on? I didn't enjoy Interstellar like I hoped I would, but
yeah, I think
because I
I'm
like
with
Nolan,
you.
I like his stuff mostly, but
Yeah.
that didn't work for me.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same. But I think there were flashes of brilliance in it. I think it was shot amazingly, um, but
Oh yeah,
but yeah, I think that ultimately it just falls really really flat.
I'm not questioning its brilliance. I'm questioning my brilliance.
That's true. Maybe we're just too dumb to really appreciate
So
it.
that's me.
Okay, let's jump into kind of superlatives, and then we're going to talk about some stuff. So
Okay.
we always do superlatives, and look, these are going to be this is more recent, so it's not as not as dynamic as some of them have been, but there's some stuff up there. So Donnie likes to put in superlatives like you'd find things like class clown or most likely to
Yeah.
succeed, so on and so forth. So Donnie always breaks down a few of them. So go ahead, Donnie. Let's
Oh man,
give me some things
I
you got.
this is a limited selection because again, I've seen limited movies in this year,
That's right.
and I told Chris I was really struggling with remembering specifics of these movies, even ones I'd really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I couldn't put them together in my mind. So let's start with my under the radar stuff.
Okay.
Um, and there's not very many of these, but the Grand Budapest Hotel for a lot of people would be under kind of under the radar.
Okay.
But it's really great. It's witty. It's what's the guy's name? Anderson?
Yeah, Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's quirky. If you like if you like his stuff, you'll love it.
Yeah, Moonrise Kingdom is great.
Willem Dafoe in that movie is insane. With those high heel boots running around, that whole movie is it's pretty great. Nightcrawler with
Nightcrawler's really great.
what's his name? Jake
Jake
Gyllenhaal.
Yep.
He's a night creeper, I guess, photographer taking pictures of crime scenes and stuff like that, trying to sell them to the news folk. It's creepy, but it's really good, and it's very telling of our times.
Yeah.
Everybody trying to find their own fame.
Yep.
Unbroken is great.
That's on my list.
Story
too.
of Louis Zamperini,
Yeah.
Olympic runner, also World War II POW.
Yep.
Great movie. I don't think a lot of people saw it at the theater. And then there was one with Liam Neeson that I enjoyed called Walk Among the Tombstones. It's about a guy that is hired to go find a guy's wife, but it's a pretty low key, but I enjoyed it. And that's really it, man. I mean, like I said, I didn't see a ton of movies that year.
Okay,
so
wait, I have some, so don't
go ahead.
Yet. Okay, so I would say that Edge of Tomorrow was under the radar.
You think so?
Absolutely. I mean, that movie died at the box office.
They killed that advertising.
Rebranded it and released it on DVD, and it died on DVD.
Yeah.
I think that movie is
They changed
excellent.
the title. They tried to change the title.
Yeah, Live, Die, Repeat.
Live, Die, Repeat. Which is a way better title, by the way, than Edge of Tomorrow.
Sure. I love that movie.
Oh, it's great.
It's a great movie.
Let's not talk about it now.
I would say Snowpiercer.
Yeah, I like that one too. It's weird. It's a weird little flick.
It's weird.
But it's
so
fun.
Is Grand Budapest Hotel. It was weird.
Correct.
Right?
It's super.
So I would then say you're gonna laugh at this. You're gonna scoff at this.
Okay.
There's a movie called Planes, Fire and Rescue.
I know the movie. It's an animated movie.
So Disney came out after the popularity of Cars, which was made by Pixar. Disney came out, kind of set it in the same universe, but did a movie called Planes, which was garbage. Yes. It was literally just the plot of Lightning McQueen from Cars, but with a plane. That movie was garbage. But then a couple of years after that, they did a sequel called Planes, Fire and Rescue. And it was fantastic. Dusty, who is the airplane, ends up going to he basically fights fires. He learns how to fight fires with these mountain these mountain guys, and it's just a movie about him learning the lay of the land and kind of what it means to have.
Is it basically Tow Mater with a fire hose?
No, dude. I'm telling you. Planes, Fire and Rescue is an excellent non-Pixar movie. It's really good. And then and the last one I would say is Chef. Please tell me you've seen Chef. Okay,
I'm not going to lie to you. I have
Chef.
not
Okay,
seen
so
Chef.
Chef is going on Movie Swap because
This is not a good year for
we are
me, man. I
doing that.
just didn't see much.
So Chef is I don't want to give too much here because I want you to see it, but
I know it's got John
John
Favreau in it.
Favreau in it. He's basically he's a
A
gourmet
chef.
a gourmet chef, and things don't kind of go his way. And so he's trying to kind of reinvent himself. And it's the story of him getting back to what he loves doing and finding a way to do that. And he bonds with his son over it, which is a truly great, great kind of side arc to the story. It is excellent. Chef is so good. I don't think enough people have seen it.
What if I'm not a
It's
big
so good.
John Favreau fan as an actor? Will I still enjoy it?
I mean, you're definitely a garbage person if you don't. But I mean,
He
if
kind of
that's
bugs me, but I'll watch
no,
it.
he's great. No, don't watch it now. We're gonna watch it together.
Okay, I won't watch it now.
Okay, all right. So that's it. So I'll move on. But those were my under the radar movies.
Yeah. Okay. So under the radar, I didn't see most of them. All right. So cutest couple. Let's go down this road here.
Okay.
On my nominees list, I have Zero and Agatha from Grand Budapest Hotel. Zero was the bellboy. Agatha was his mystery girlfriend with the Mexico birthmark on her face. I have Groot and Rocket Raccoon.
Yes.
That's a great couple.
They are the best. That scene when you see them on Xandar the first time where they're trying to bag Quill and he just keeps arguing with Groot just nonstop. He's like, no, they're bickering like an old married couple.
Isn't that where Gamora shows up too and tries to catch him?
Yeah.
They're fighting against each other. Yeah.
It's just so good. Yeah.
They argue like a married couple.
Yeah, it's so good.
Also on my list, I have Hero and Baymax from Big Hero 6.
Dude, I can't believe you put Big Hero 6 on here. They're so good.
That is a great movie.
That is a great movie, Donnie. That is a great movie.
Tremendous movie. But I'm going to give my award for cutest couple here to John Wick and his dog.
Yes. But which one?
It's tough. I would have to say the first one because he's what sparks the whole.
I guess so.
The whole movie.
I guess so. That works.
He's pretty attached to that dog.
That works. I am sad that you didn't even give a nod to Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, but that's okay.
I'm trying to go a little more unconventional.
I'll let that pass.
But that's a good choice.
Dude, John Wick and his dog. Brilliant. I love it.
One thing I do want to point out about 2014 that I did notice. Let me just mention this.
Okay.
Again, this is a spoiler moment, so there's a lot of sad deaths in 2014. American Sniper was released at the end of that year.
Gosh, yes.
And in real life, that guy gets shot and killed. And that's part of the movie.
Yeah.
You have Big Hero 6, his brother gets killed.
Yeah, Tadashi.
Which is brutal. I mean, that's seriously, that's like up territory right there. You're like, what?
Man. Yes.
You mentioned Gwen Stacy. She dies in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Dunzo.
Interstellar's pretty sad, but
yeah,
I think that might have been it. But it just struck me as like all these people. There's some high-profile dying going on in those movies. But anyway, all right, let's go with funniest moment here. Chris certainly had one of his entries here with Matthew McConaughey crying watching old home movies, which seems not funny to me, but Chris wanted it on the list. So
it's just, listen, if you watch the scene back, it just doesn't really fit. Like I get it, but I don't think that they give you, I don't think that we spend enough time understanding. I don't think that. No. He's an awful crier, but
you have some people that are really good criers and some that are really just awful criers.
I mean, I don't think he's good, but that's
not good. Okay.
That's why I think he's funny. But this is what I think Interstellar doesn't do a good job of. I don't think Interstellar does a good job of explaining to you how long this journey has actually been. And the fact
Yeah.
that when he's down on the planet and he comes back, literally, like, everything has changed. And his whole entire family has grown up, while
Yeah.
he's been away. And I get the emotional impact of that. But then they show him with this, really sappy music under, and you don't really hear a lot of what's going on. And he's just bawling. And in the theater, I laughed.
I may have to go back and watch that movie just because I don't remember so much of it.
Yeah.
I have on here the Baymax fist bump. It's pretty great.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing.
That's a good one.
I have on here Drax stating when he Star-Lord said Rocket says they're literal. Everybody's literal on his planet.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh yeah, that will just go over his head." And Drax says, "Nothing would go over my head. I would catch it.
My reflexes are too fast.
My reflexes are too good, or whatever." That Drax is pretty great for any comedic stuff.
My gosh,
I thought the invisibility scene was in the first one, and I started watching it.
No, that's.
And I was like, because I would have put that.
That's
when he's
so
just like,
good.
I'm moving so slow.
That's so good.
I've been here for an hour, and he's just like, I'm invisible. He's like, no, you're not. Anyway,
when he,
but I'm gonna give the
Mantis when he in the second one with Mantis,
yeah,
when he's just like, you are disgusting.
You're horrid.
The way anything with Drax in it is absolutely the best.
He's funny.
Yeah, when he tries to kill Gamora in the first one. When he's there, and Star-Lord's like, and then she's like, why would I put my finger to her throat?
Yeah, I saw that too. So anything with Drax really is gonna be on probably that list.
Yeah,
maybe we'll just call it the Drax montage.
That's right.
Of humor.
That's good.
But I'm gonna give the funniest moment of 2014 to Edge of Tomorrow for the quick cut death scenes.
Oh yes,
that Tom Cruise experiences in quick succession.
Over and over. That's right.
They kind of have a nice cut there where he's like, he's going to battle with these. I don't know what they were like, robots or just big swinging arms or something, right?
Yeah. They're like robots. Yeah.
Basically, just not doing very well at all. So it's like, great. Ding, 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 like he's back every time. Yeah. And that little montage there, I thought was pretty clever.
That is good.
And I'll give it to that. So.
Yep. That's
grossest, your favorite one.
Yes.
You submitted one, which, well, I would agree with, is Neil Patrick Harris's death in Gone Girl.
Oh my gosh.
Whew. It's brutal. It's bloody, and it's hard to watch.
Gratuitous.
It's very gratuitous. I do not recommend that you watch
do not watch it, but also watch it because it is not good.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it though.
That's on the list. In Grand Budapest Hotel, Jeff Goldblum gets his fingers chopped off by a door, and they unceremoniously fall to the floor. I thought that was pretty great. But I'm going to cop out a little bit on this, and I'm going to give grossest moment to RoboCop, the whole movie, because it's garbage. It made me want to throw up in my mouth, man. I can't believe they took a beautiful, wonderful movie, classy movie like RoboCop from 1986 and turned it into the garbage heap that they did.
Oh,
what a travesty, my friend.
It is gross. It is absolutely so gross.
All right, let's go. Let's just go to best moment here.
Okay, best moment.
All right, there's a couple of these. Let's start with the Kingsman, the Secret Service.
Oh, the church scene, man.
Well, there's two scenes. The church scene is one.
Okay.
Where, what's his face? Colin Firth basically just wipes out like 200 people.
It's just so.
Well, they kind of help. They kind of wipe each other out, but he wipes out.
But it's just the choreography of it and the way it's shot.
I think it's
kind of
insane.
It is insane.
Yeah, I watched the behind the scenes on that, and it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Basically, he wipes out a whole church of people.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then there's the explosion scene at the end, where all the heads explode.
Oh, that's right.
There's like hundreds of thousands of people and their heads just blow up.
That's right. Oh my
It's
gosh,
done
I
in
forgot about that.
cartoonish fashion, but it's still pretty
It's
still
pretty
great to
That's
watch
right.
all the heads pop off.
Yep, I forgot all about that. That's right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You got in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, you have the scene where Nick Fury is in his vehicle, and all the
Soldier?
other what did I say? Winter Soldier.
No, you said Nick Fury, but
Winter Soldier, but Nick Fury
is in the car.
he's in the car, and all those other vehicles pull up beside him, start blasting machine gun him.
Yeah.
And his car goes into like defense mode.
Yes.
And when he goes into that machine gun, that Gatling gun or whatever it was, minigun, like everything comes together there. The sound,
yeah, it's
the special effects. It's like an immersive scene, and it's just brutal, but it's awesome,
dude.
That's like 5 minutes, and you're just like, dude, this is amazing. What is going to happen here? You didn't even really know. The outcome.
But then it ends, like that entire scene is great because then it ends with Winter Soldier, shooting that thing on the ground that then hits the truck up and upside down.
Oh yeah, he does.
And that's how it ends. Yeah, that whole entire sequence is just great.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's great.
But it's not the best scene in
Winter I'm not Soldier. Done. Godzilla. You recommended this one. I went back and watched it, and it's pretty great.
It is pretty great, yeah.
It's when he first uses his fire breath.
Yeah.
And his tail starts glowing blue.
I know, it's so good.
And it works its way up, his tail up his spine, up to his head.
And then he just
it's got this
murders.
Yeah, the music is building. It goes bzz, 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 and then he just lights this mutant thing up.
And he just murders it. It like melts him.
No, he doesn't melt him then. He melts him later.
Oh, that's right.
He just blasts him into a building. And then he opens his mouth later and just blasts into his mouth.
That's I will say that movie was mostly garbage. And there was definitely not enough Godzilla, but those scenes right at the end were really great.
You waited pretty much an hour to see him. For that sweet moment.
Yeah.
Which is a nice payoff, but it wasn't enough. But it's a great moment.
Yeah, it is great.
Another great moment I have is from John Wick. It is the house fight at the beginning when they come to his house to try to kill him. And it just kind of sets the gritty tone for that whole series. Like that whole scene is just brutal. Like it's a different kind of style.
Yes.
Than you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
It's just real hands-on, a lot of punching, a lot of, wrapping guys up and stabbing guys and shooting a lot of dudes. And it's
so good.
A lot of close quarters type stuff. It's a really great scene. And then the cop shows up at the end at the door and he's like, "You working tonight, John?" He's like, "Yep." The cop's like, "Okay." And he just like leaves. Like, "Okay, I know when the getting's good. I'm out of here."
So good. God, that movie's so good.
Yeah, that sets your tone for everything. And then, but Chris and I are going to be in agreement on the best scene of 2014.
No,
it is from
question.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It is a scene when Cap gets into the elevator with like 12 dudes kind of crammed in there around, or they get in after.
They get in
him,
after him, yeah.
Yeah, he's in there alone. They pile in.
Yes.
They have ill intent in their hearts.
Yep.
And he basically stops and says,
"If
anyone wants to get out, like here's your chance, man."
So good. Anybody want to get out?
Just the build up, the tension.
Oh my gosh, the music's building. They're going up. You know what's happening. If you watch it,
Is he holding a case or something? Or is he just standing there?
No, he's standing there. You're thinking of it in game when he has the case.
Yeah, that's later. That's right.
But yeah, no. But he does. He sees the sweat. He recognizes.
Right.
He's like,
that was the tip off.
These guys are here and they're uncomfortable. Something's about to go down, and that's when they make that final stop. And because they stop like 3 times, and each time more people get on. And
Yeah,
he's like,
that's right.
"Oh, I'm
That's right.
seeing what's going on." And then the music's building, and they're going up. And then finally, when they stop, he's like, "Anybody want to get off?" And then it closes, and it's just so.
And it
good.
becomes a beat down.
Oh, and he takes every one of those guys down. And it's not. It's also not an easy fight either. You know, they magnetize his hand to the wall, and so he's fighting with one hand for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And but I love it. He lays all of them out, and then at the very end,
I need to go back and watch that scene
at the
again.
very end, he snaps his shield back up into his hand when he's done. So
I got to go back and watch that one.
God, it's so good.
Well, there you go. There's some of your superlatives, and so that brings us to whatever. What are we gonna do? Biggest omission, top three?
Yes. We'll just walk down there. So those are good. So yeah. So to kind of wrap up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you a couple of choices. So we're gonna go over our biggest omission. So what we'd say is the one movie that we hadn't seen that we really should have seen, and then we're just gonna kind of go around and give our top three movies of the year. And then we'll be done. So real quick, I will go ahead and go. As far as omission, I have to this day never seen the Grand Budapest Hotel.
You're kidding me.
No, and I love Wes Anderson. I love Moonrise Kingdom. I love Royal Tenenbaums.
So good.
I never got around to seeing Grand Budapest. So yeah, that's
good
one.
Stuff. You got to watch that one.
Yeah, that's one that I don't know why I haven't. I do feel like Wes Anderson is a guy that you kind of have to be in the mood for. He's quirky enough where if you want to just sit down and watch some kind of throwaway action or something, that's not going to be your guy. If you want to watch a comedy, that's not really your guy either. He's very eccentric, and so you got to kind of be in the mood for that, right? It's kind of like sushi, right? You don't want to eat sushi every day, but
hey,
but when you're in the mood, you know, sushi.
Yeah, I watched Isle of Dogs recently.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that one either. That's
it didn't hit me right. Okay, I mean, it was fine, but it didn't really.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like I feel like maybe if I went back and watched it again,
and
later on,
mindset,
might hit me better.
Yeah, and that's why I want to be in the right mindset for Grand Budapest, but I haven't got around to it, so I do want to watch it. But yes, that's mine. All right, okay. Nani. I mean, it sounds like yours is about a 50 movie long,
dude.
So
I could have put a few, but not a bunch because, like I said, I looked over this list and I didn't see much on there that I felt like I missed. The only one that I would put on here, well, I was tempted to put The Judge on here with Robert Downey.
Oh, I saw that. That's great. And
was it?
Yeah. The God and the Generals guy, Robert Duvall.
Yeah, Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it. I never did.
Yeah, it's sappy. You know, it's a little sappy for. I mean, not the whole thing. He's great. Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Duvall are great, but you know, it gets to a lot of like, you know, me and Dad
I wasn't a good dad.
Mom was, yeah. So
I'd rather watch The Great Santini than with Robert Duvall.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't,
if I want to watch a daddy issue movie.
Yeah. It wasn't bad, but yeah.
But the one I would say is my biggest regret, and I had it in hand a couple of times from the library, is Whiplash. I've never seen Whiplash.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you follow our show, we do a little segment that we like to call Movie Swap, and coming up very soon. Now this is
about the guy from Iron Man, right?
No.
It's an MCU like sub movie.
No.
Whiplash.
Yeah, Whiplash. That's right. It's Mickey Rourke.
Right?
Mickey Rourke got his own spinoff. That's right. Him and the parrot. Him and the parrot, or they started a one man, one parrot band. Is what it's.
Yeah, he plays the drums with his big electric whip. Right?
Yep, he does. It's fantastic. Yeah. So this is actually going to be one of Donnie's movie swaps. We always talk about movie swap. I normally give Donnie really crappy movies. It's not because I necessarily want him to watch them. It's just he's seen so much, it's hard to find things. But we found a gold mine here in 2014. So Whiplash, we are going to be discussing very, very soon. We'll talk about it in a minute. But yeah, that's good.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so let's do top three. So I had 6.
You gotta narrow it down. I'm narrowing down my 5 list as we're sitting here right now.
Okay. So then in lieu of giving you all 6.
You can tell me what 3 you're cutting off.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I cut off, okay? So I'm cutting off... Oh, God, this is so hard. Donnie, this is hard.
Come on, you big pansy.
This is hard. Okay, so I would cut off... So I have Chef on my short list. It's absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite movies, probably in the last...
Are you cutting it off?
10 years. Cutting it off. Honorable mention.
Okay, Chef is off.
Okay? Honorable mention: Guardians of the Galaxy, the original. I still think it's one
Cutting that off.
cutting it off. Yeah. Yep.
What? Oh, okay. This is getting interesting.
Cutting it off, and then to be honest with you, Don, this is gonna really sting, but I'm cutting Winter Soldier off.
Are you joking right
now? No.
Holy Toledo!
No, these two movies are great.
Who are you?
I know. I don't want to tell you. So then, at number 3 for me, I would put Whiplash. Whiplash is a brilliant movie about
don't ruin it
about determination and
never tell me the odds.
Yeah, like that. It's just about these two egocentric personalities that are clashing over creative expression, and where that takes them. It is unexpected. It is intense. It is
don't ruin it.
Fantastic. The movie's fantastic. I don't want to talk about it anymore. We're gonna watch Whiplash. Whiplash is brilliant. So number 3 for me, Whiplash. All right, give me your honorable mentions and then tell me number 3.
Okay, my honorable mentions here. Big Hero 6, believe it or not.
Such a good movie.
Yeah. I saw that in the theater, believe it or not. And I genuinely loved it. I thought it was a great movie.
So good. Based on a Marvel comic, by the way.
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah.
This is tough. I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna cut Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay.
I really love that movie.
Yeah, that's great.
And but I'm gonna set it aside.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go number 3 here. I'm gonna go Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Talked about it earlier.
Okay. I mean, no, you don't give me the rest. Just number 3.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You're up.
I think Guardians is still one of the funniest movies in the MCU.
Yeah.
I think that the soundtrack is still the best soundtrack in the MCU.
Oh, yeah. The soundtrack's amazing.
And I think for doing what it did for characters that nobody knew, I think it is just excellent.
It's unprecedented, really, to come at it with just, like you said, these are nobodies. No one knows these people.
No.
There's 5 nerds on the planet that knew these people, and you're probably one of them, but no one else knew them.
Yeah.
But everybody loved them. And it's like,
loved them.
How'd you do it, man? But you did it.
Just a bunch of a-holes. It's just so good. Okay. For me, number 2.
I don't know what happened here.
Yeah, I could hear myself. I had a echo.
There we go.
It's all good. For me, number 2 would have to be the Lego Movie.
I figured that was on your list.
So
I've seen it.
I mean, to me, Legos are a huge part of my life, my childhood. Still to this day, probably one of my favorite things to do. I worked in an office, for 10 years, and I always kept a small Lego container filled with Lego blocks in my desk. And if I ever got just frustrated or just kind of hit a brick wall and needed to kind of take a break, I would always pull it out and just build something at my desk. It's just one of those things that's always kind of been part of my fiber. And so to see them take the conceit of what Lego is, turn it into a movie that's not only heartwarming and hilarious and poignant, but it's also like it honors where it comes from. The very first scene, whenever Emmett's going to work, and he's they're like we need a 2x2 elbow, we need a 4x4 brick. I mean, they're using actual Lego terms that these master builders have used for 50 years to make these sets, and just to see like the care that they took to make it, and then to actually make it about something, right? right? And the idea is that you grow up with Legos and then you become an adult. And if I had a giant room that I could just not touch, I would build Legos everywhere, right? But then
I believe you.
you forget sometimes that these are toys that are made to be played with. That's the whole conceit of the movie, is these are things that it's a little bit of the Toy Story vibe, right? It's like these things were made to bring joy, and if you just have them sitting on a counter not doing anything, you're defeating the purpose. And it's so good. The way that Lord Business in the movie is a reflection of like an adult, like a calloused, cold-hearted adult who's lost his childlike charm and excitement, and just how Emmett is this dumbfounded kid that just wants to be everywhere and wants to be. It's just such a great parallel to real life. I think it's brilliant. So it's number 2 for me. I love it.
All right,
you're number 2. What you got?
I'm gonna have to go with John Wick.
Nice.
I didn't really care for this movie the first time I saw it.
Okay.
But when part 2 was coming out, I was like, you know what? I guess I need to go revisit this because everybody's raving about it, and it hooked me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, and I know it's not like some revelatory thing. Everybody's seen it by now, but I love the story. I love the character. Keanu Reeves is great in that. I mean, he's not in a lot of stuff, but he is in that.
Yeah, he's great,
and
also great in everything.
Just the grittiness of it. I mean, it's kind of my thing. It's like I like that. It's, I don't know how to explain it. It's ultra violent, but it's a revenge tale. It's like, we talked about Sleepers, last week, but it's kind of one of those things. It's just, I want to be that guy. I want to do that.
No doubt. So I will go ahead and jump in by telling you that my favorite movie of 2014 is John Wick. I consider John Wick to be a near flawless film. I think that it does more than almost any movie that I've ever seen with world building, which is what I love about it. Like, I think we've had this conversation a little bit before, but it's kind of that thing like in Star Wars, right? In Star Wars, when Luke comes and he meets Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan, he says, "You knew my father," and he says, "Yeah, I fought with your father in the Clone Wars." In 1977, you had no idea what the flipping Clone Wars was. Who was in it, why there was a war, what clones were. You knew nothing, but just building the layers of what that universe was. And that's easy to do in space because everything is made up. But for John Wick to come in and to create the world of the Continental and the world of, these medallions.
Oh, I love the Continental. That whole thing.
So good. These medallions that you turn in for favors and like all of this stuff, the way that you have to use a specific type of gold, and just everything that the movie posits, and it never once like deviates from like, this is just the world. Like, they accept it, the people live in it, and you never question it. I think from start to finish, it is a brilliant movie. I think that the calling him back into what he's good at after losing everything is exactly what a person like that would do. Like you said, I think it's ultra violent, but not in a way that's gratuitous, although it is, but it's just like he's just getting the job done. I don't think he goes out of the way to like mutilate people. But he just like, I'm going to murder all of you.
Bang, bang, you're dead.
It's like one of us is going to die, and it's going to be you because I'm John Wick. And absolutely my favorite movie of 2014. I think it is, on a very short list of what I would call a perfect movie. So I think it's great.
Nice. Yeah. Mine is, not surprising, Captain America: Winter Soldier. We've talked it to death. It's a great movie. Good. I enjoy it.
It's just so
my favorite Marvel movie. It's my favorite 2014 movie.
Yeah.
And
I can't argue with that. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about, after the elevator scene, he also steals a motorcycle and takes down an entire jet by himself with his bare hands.
Yes, he does.
That happens, okay? And it's not even facetious. Like, he just does it because he's freaking Captain America. He's great.
Right.
I love it.
That's mine. That's my top 3.
Such a good movie. And, it's the whole thing, the face swap at the end. Like, it's just such a well-done movie. The Hail Hydra moment, so good. I agree. It's great. Okay, there's great movies in here. We can't talk any longer. We've talked way too long as it is, so we'll let you guys go. Thanks for listening, and we hope that you guys enjoyed it. 2014 was a great year, great movies. We're going to post this whenever we do. If you're listening to this, let us know. If you're on YouTube, you could drop it in the comments below. If you're listening, you have a chance to come to the group. Tell us what your favorite movies are in 2014. As Donnie mentioned, he hasn't seen a lot. There are movies like Grand Budapest Hotel that I haven't seen, so clearly we're only two people. We can't have seen everything. So if we miss something, there's something you want to give a shout out to, let us know, and we'll definitely be sure to share that with the community. So, but that's it. So thank you guys for listening, and until next time, for me and Donnie.
Real quick, sorry, don't forget to go watch our Jaws YouTube video.
That's right. We're trying to get more views, on our lesser viewed videos. So yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. For some reason, nobody, all of our videos have like 10 views, except for our Jaws video, which has like 2,000 or 1 point something.
Let's get that up to 5,000.
Yeah, come on, guys. Yeah, if you like this show, go watch it at least another 12 to 15 times tomorrow. Okay, we appreciate that. All right, guys, we're out of here. For Donnie and for Chris and for for Phil, who doesn't get to be here tonight. We will see you guys next time. Bye.
Yes.